like it's a COVID office, and this guy's just he's setting it up like it's a COVID check, but really he's just getting sucked off by these girls and tricking them.
What a guy.
Yeah.
What a career.
That's a normal. That's
you
like
could be a doctor too.
Yeah. I mean, fuck it. These guys think that we're really pulling guys off the street and fucking them. Like, really do. Which has happened, honestly. Like, if I find somebody that I'm like, damn, I'm really attracted to you. Can I test you and then like do
really?
content? I will do that. I will. I've never done it so far, but I've thought about it. And I'm like, if I got them tested, full panel, and they agree to do it and they sign the paperwork and everything, then they're just a content creator.
I get too nervous. I'm like, I feel like I have to
have really good chemistry with them.
Yeah,
like, I really
for the first
you.
time I meet you,
usually,
for me to fuck you. Yeah.
And usually it's somebody who's in or related to porn, like it's a PA or a photographer, and I'm like, dude, you're great with a camera anyways, you might as well, if I just get you tested, if that's all we're worried about is the testing, I mean,
you're
I
better
can
than me.
$200, boom.
You are better than me. I'm like, oh, it's people in the industry, yikes.
Well, I mean, like, there have been a couple of people I've met that have just been like,
I've had 3 instances, and after those 3, and most of them were recounted to me from other people's accounts, and then it like got pieced back together. And after those instances, I was oh no,
no.
Like, I've got to get a handle.
That I'm talking about, like in particular, that I can like refer back to is there was a photographer that my good friend Monet Divine had set me up with, and he's fucking dope. He has performed with her in the past. And so she gave me like hey, he's great. Like I used him for some content. We shot some content once after we did some pictures. And I looked at him and I was like, if you get tested, because it was a shoot house for the weekend, you get tested and show me your test tomorrow, I'll suck your dick in the bathroom.
You were in there, but he was like attractive?
He was attractive. Okay, and we had a thing, like I really wanted to fuck him.
Well, no, and then if you know someone, you know, you're working with, it does make it a little more enticing. Yeah. Because you can trust it.
And the day before we did a photography shoot, we did like a whole shoot and everything. And so, like, while he was like, hey, can you just change your body here, turn it there? Like, he would adjust my hair for me, but he was very respectful, and I felt very comfortable. And at some point, I was like, you know, you can touch the clothing or my body. I'm okay with it.
Like, I'm like a little scared.
That's, a little nervous.
I kind of
turned around when I was changing outfits. I thought
that's actually cute. It's like, aw, you want to fuck my ass.
You really want to stick your dick in me. So he went and got tested the next morning, came to the shoot the next day.
He did the next morning. He did want it.
And when he showed me his test, they came in, I pressed the thing, and it popped up to the page. I grabbed him by the belt, dragged him into the bathroom, said, hold the camera. This is the premise. We're at a party, which is true. We're at a shoot party. And I've dragged you into the bathroom, and now I'm going to fuck you. So,
that's hot.
Hold the camera. And it was great because he hit his face, and he did the perfect POV. I looked great.
Because he can shoot. That's
yes, because he can shoot. Exactly, because he's a photographer.
Good content. That's why it is worth it to get with guys, or even anyone in the industry.
Here's the
guys,
thing.
girls,
he didn't want the content. I told him, if you ever get into the porn and you want the content, it's yours.
Honestly, if you don't want the content and you'll just let me fuck you, I will probably fuck you 1,000,000 times. I'm like, you don't want the sign this, baby. I'll let you come in my ass for free.
And he was like, I heard of you, and I knew Monet, and I saw her hanging out with you, and then I looked you up, and I was like,
he wanted it already. That's
he already
hot.
wanted it. So
I like that.
So it's like, I kind of fucked a fan.
And it makes you feel good, because you're like, oh, you know who I am.
I kind of fucked a fan, but
that's the best.
So
honestly,
it
it's good to fuck them. Don't date them.
Yeah, and I'll tell you the truth. Like, after the blowjob, like I gave him like a good 12. I gave him a 20-minute head up. I was like, you need to recollect yourself, take
right, and time, come back, because if you come fast, it'll never happen again.
I was like, yeah, exactly. Come back to me, and we need to have sex. So here's maca root, here's some zinc, and here's some water.
Really set him up.
Go. So I was like,
by the way, wait. We have to break this down. Maca root, zinc, Pedialyte. Such great ingredients for a night of fucking.
Yes.
If you don't know what the fuck they are, Google them immediately and try. I wouldn't recommend your first time doing them, combining them all. But once you get a little more advanced.
What I would say is take them the night before.
Yeah,
take them the night before.
Hydrate.
And then if you want your cum to taste really good, and I've actually done this, I can taste the difference, guys. Cucumbers, celery, watermelon, pineapple. Notice I'm saying the actual fruits and veggies, not the juices. water,
real, not cocktail,
Pedialyte, and coconut water.
Raw fruit.
The raw fruit. And
Boom.
your
Coconut water. Wow, what a changer.
Yes,
that's
so
actually
fucking
real.
true. Yes, it is. And in fact, I did a glory hole blow bang, so I can't see them. And I had the conversation with a group of guys, and two of them told me they were going to do it. And those two of them went twice. I took 2 of their loads.
Yeah.
Each time I did a special knock, I could tell who it was, and I got it right all 4 times.
That's beautiful.
So that to me tells me, hey, I tested it myself. The theory works.
That's actually fire. Yeah. I think my first time learning that in the industry, and luckily I heard it very early on, was actually from Peter. Peter Green. Yeah, he's a great male talent in Florida.
Look him up.
Yeah, definitely look him up. We both have scenes with him. But after our first scene together, he was like, oh, let's go to sushi. And then he was eating like all these like weird things. And I'm like, also, like, he works out a lot. So I was like, oh, you do this for, like, working out and health reasons. And he's like, well, kind of, but also it just makes for better sex. He's like, I've never had a complaint about, you know, a girl saying my cum tastes bad or anything like that. And he's like, and these are just things I keep up with. And genuinely, every guy I've worked with since then who keeps up with, like, that type of regimen, their cum is, like, outstanding. Like,
I could drink it in a cup. You could literally put it in a cup like this, and I would gargle the shit.
And let us give you a secret. If your cum tastes good,
I'll want to suck your dick more.
Most likely, it probably feels great when you come in our pussies. And it's probably healthier for us than a guy who, say, doesn't eat so healthy and eat bad things. You get what I'm saying? So if you are eating great foods, there is a reason why your girl is letting you come in her all the time. Or whatever girls and or orifices, male, female, who cares, that you're fucking, there's a reason why they're letting you come in them. It's because your cum is outstanding. Like that's porn star we need a gavel so we can like slam it down on things that are certified.
Yes, I love that.
We have to backtrack a little.
Oh yeah,
we're such good friends. You and I just dove right into it.
We do.
We're gonna do a little reset really quick.
Okay, cool.
You're good. You're amazing. What's up, guys? It's Adriana Maya, and I want to welcome you to Spliffs and Giggles, brought to you by the Red Eye District. I have a very good friend of mine joining us today. Her name is Carmel Clutch. She has been in the industry for 2 years?
Close to 2 years now.
So you're coming up on that.
Yeah.
That's crazy, because when I met her, genuinely, I had seen you online so much. Like, whether it be on, like, social media and just people that we had mutuals that were retweeting you, going on porn sites and seeing you. And I was just like, oh my, how have I never met you? And I got lucky one day and I just did. So welcome, Carmela. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me. Oh, I'm so happy to be here. Thank you so much for having me.
Tell us a little bit about you, please.
Sure. So I'm 32 years old. I'm from Miami originally, so, you know, 305.
I did not know that.
Yes. Soy boricua, ya tú sabes.
Oh,
yeah. So I'm Puerto Rican.
I like that. That's hot.
Thank you.
Like, I got hot.
So,
She's so
thank you. So we're gonna talk later. So I'm all flustered now. So I've been doing this for about 2 years. I fucking love what I do. Let's see, I'm nasty, freaky, into all of it, bisexual, throw me around, twist me around, spin me around. I'm Afro-Latina. I don't know what else what other facts.
I think, actually, we talked about this before, but when I first met her, I said, oh, you're a proper whore. Like you're like the first, and I've been in the industry for 6 years, so I've seen some shit, but she's the first, like, proper whore, like. And I was like, oh my, I think I love you.
It was when we played Never Have I Ever. You're like,
oh my god, like, you're perfect. I
was like down to like one finger for like the longest time.
And I had like 7, and I'm like, this never happened.
I was like, this always happens. I am that person in my group of friends that they're just, for a lot of my friends back home, they were like, you in porn? Yeah, it makes sense. You like to talk about sex. You love giving advice about sex. You're a very sexually driven person.
Yeah.
And, you know, you have the degree in marketing and advertising. So that's
awesome.
You can actually apply that shit.
Yeah, that definitely applies here. When you say home, are you referring to Florida?
Yeah, Miami.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. So
but
I live here now. So.
You're Boricua, you said.
So
you're Puerto Rican.
Yeah.
Oh my god, you've gone.
Oh yeah. Okay. Oh my god, my island. It is really. The people of my island are probably the most loving, caring, kind, non-judgmental, chill vibes people I've ever met. The first time I went to my island, I told some complete stranger that it was my first time on the island and that my family's Puerto Rican and that, you know, I was visiting my grandmother. He embraced me pre-COVID. He gave me a hug.
Just to preface.
Yeah. Gave me a big hug and was like, welcome home. And then he invited me to a family parranda that they were having.
That would have made me cry.
Like a street festival, a street fair that everybody was like a big barbecue and the whole neighborhood was there. It was absolutely stunning. I couldn't even like begin to tell you how humbling it was to feel like I was home.
Yeah.
And how beautiful my island is. And I grew such a pride for it that I could never really understand until I went there myself.
I love that. I think that is so cool. And hopefully after COVID you're planning on going back, so maybe you can take me and we can bring Spliffs and Giggles on a little travel episode.
Oh, I'm so down.
With the two big booty queens.
I'm so down. I will. Oh my god, I know so many places.
You can be my naughty tour guide.
Ooh.
Driving like, ooh.
I'm gonna take her to my rainforest.
Okay. I'm in there. Like, I don't have a witty comeback, but I'm down.
It's about to get really wet.
So, you've been in the industry for almost 2 years, you said. Do you have, like, favorite performers that you like working with, or, like, up-and-coming performers that you maybe haven't got a chance to work with, but you're very interested in it?
I definitely have some favorites that I love to work with, but I mean, honestly, every male talent I've worked with has brought something different and new.
Yeah.
So I love working with the different companies and talents because I learned so much. And about myself too, sexually. I found out different kinks that I didn't know I had.
That's hot.
So it's kind of
love that.
Yeah.
Ooh, speaking of kinks, I mean, you brought it up. What are they?
So I didn't know I had a foot fetish. I really thought I was anti-foot fetish.
Okay, I have a question about this. Is it like specific to people, like a specific person, or do you just now like feet in general?
No,
because I'm like person specific.
I'm person specific, but I like my feet being worshipped. I didn't think I'd even like anyone touching my feet because I'm very ticklish.
I feel that. Me
so
too.
Like,
yeah.
And I'll say a name, Freak Mob.
Yeah,
they'll
get
get
you.
a foot fetish scene, and I said, okay, sure, I'm down, let's do it. And we had great chemistry, and the sex was fire, and he was hitting it from the back, and my toes were up in his face, and he put my toes in his mouth, and then drug softly his teeth.
And you like
and sucked at the same
shiver.
time, and I came so fucking hard. And at that point, he flipped me over.
Yeah.
And now I'm like this. My foot is out in his mouth
in
still,
awe.
and I'm like, what is going on?
Yeah.
And he's taking full control over me. Now he pulls my head up, and I'm watching myself get fucked, and my toes are being sucked at the same time, and I'm having the most incredible orgasm I've ever experienced.
So hot, dude.
I'm shaking, thinking, look, I am shaking.
You're like,
thinking about it. Bro,
for those of you who can't see this, she means it.
I mean it.
This is a real memory.
This is a real, like, I am shaking thinking about the orgasm I had.
It was that good.
Yeah, and it was unexpected because I always thought like I could do it for someone else. If I see them getting off on it, I would get into it.
But like if you get like your toes done for say you're ticklish.
Yeah.
So if someone having your foot in their mouth.
I was like, and now Pete Green does it because he knows it's my thing.
Yeah.
So now he does it. I'm like, oh god.
I love that.
It's getting to the point where I guess people are finding out. So they're doing it.
It makes you crazy.
So they already know to do it. I'm like, oh god, why are you doing it? Why are you going there? I'm squirting already.
I feel like that's how I feel about choking. Like I like being choked to like. If you can make me pass out, I'm done. No, but I like passing out and waking up and being like, because it's like that first breath when you wake up, you know, you're like, holy shit, like, and your butt kind of in shock, and if they choke you and then you're like,
yes,
wow, like, all right.
So lately, girls have been doing that to me, and it's oh my god, because Derek has done it,
girls
and
do it.
Charlie did it to me the other day. So
she's
Charlie Hart, my roommate. We did some content that is actually going to be available.
I'm gonna buy that content.
I'm dropping it tonight. By the way, it's gonna
be there under my account.
It'll be my slutty Galentine. but it's a all-girl orgy, and she chokes me to the point where I'm almost passing out, and it was the first time that we had been sexual with each other.
Yeah.
And it's kind of cool to see the dynamic if you're into this stuff.
Yeah.
You can see the point where she looks at me and I look at her, and she goes, "Oh, you like it?" And I'm like, "Yeah." And it's cool when you know each other like that, or when you can look back and you know the relationships, you can see the kind of connections they have that are a little bit more personal than just the sex. I don't know. That's another reason why
Charlie's
I like
very cool. I actually lived with her at one point in the cam house.
Yeah, that's
before.
where I'm at now. Yeah.
And so it's actually so funny that you say that, because her and I, we've never had directly like sexual experiences like her and I doing like a girl, but we've been in so many sexual situations with each other when and it's funny because obviously we hear each other masturbate all the time. You hear that now. You hear each other masturbate, and I know the guys that we told each other stuff. But when we would finally have the sexual chemistry, especially when you're not on camera, when you're just strictly friends.
Oh yeah.
It's so much more intense. Because it's you have that connection, so you don't feel uncomfortable that you're vulnerable.
No.
But then it's also kind of naughty, it's forbidden,
especially,
oh my god, my friend's gonna make me come, and then she'll probably make me
especially
breakfast.
Especially if it's so for me, what's really hot is the pantry that's right next to the kitchen. So for me, it would be really hot that if let's say you were living there, that we're going to make breakfast and we both end up in the pantry and we start doing something, and then you come down and you're cooking breakfast, and now we're trying to be quiet because you're there. I'm oh god, it just it makes it all the more hot. So it's this great situation, especially when you're first entering in porn, because you're learning that sexual side of yourself. So
what do you think are some of the things that you didn't expect, aside from the foot fetish, but things about yourself that you didn't expect to necessarily learn or take on these traits of yourself after joining the porn industry?
Amazing question. I'm so glad you said that. I realized how strong, independent, and what a businesswoman I've become. Yeah. This industry has brought out the best attributes of myself. Not to brush my own shoulders off, but I feel more productive as a human and more fulfilled because I realize I started my LLC and I see my business growing, and I see myself growing, and I see myself growing as a performer, as a businesswoman. Hell yeah. I see what you're going for. Hell yeah.
I have big hands, but for some reason I can never open these. I think it's because my hands are so
I always
big.
encourage using your mouth.
And I'm sorry to interrupt you, but I'm that's a weird
go for it.
kink I have. I'm doing it too now. I'm
Yeah. See how sexual you can make it.
Right.
But this business has taught me so much about myself. I've learned that I'm much more humble than I've learned humility through this, because this industry teaches you just when you're on top one day, the next day you are on the bottom. It's taught me people skills and communication skills because you deal with so many different personality types coming in and out. You make so much. I've made so many networking and friends. It's incredible the things I've been able to see and experience. Yeah. And it's a very humbling experience.
Would you say that it's actually helped your perception of people in social media? Because I genuinely feel obviously when you first get in the industry, you're new, you're learning things, you're very naive, but I feel now I'm 6 years in, but you're 2 years in, but I feel it's not about the length of time you've been in, it's about the people you're around and the amount you're working and the interaction you're doing. Because I can say, I know so many girls who haven't shot for big companies, but they, have a network far larger than I do, and they have way more credentials than I do, but they don't shoot for those,
large companies.
It's real,
it's, social media is, it's a good and a bad thing. I mean, I make my career doing that, I promote all of my stuff that way, but I would, if I could, some days I feel like just dropping it all together and never having to pick up my phone ever again and living off the grid. I really do. But I love you guys and I love what I do.
Yeah.
And, but it has made me realize that most of the time the stuff that you see on there is only the good times. And someone once told me, it was one of my teachers from way back when once told me, you never take a picture of the sad moments.
Yeah, no one does.
So on social media, if that's all you're seeing, I remember one point in my life where I felt so depressed because of what I was seeing on social media, and I felt like my life wasn't adequate enough. I think that it can be a blessing to keep people close together, their families.
Absolutely.
But it can also cause a lot of people that have, I know girls that are going to doctors' offices showing pictures of themselves with filters and saying, make me look like this.
Absolutely.
And they're creating a sense of body dysmorphia as a result. And so again, I see good, I see bad. I see how it's able to influence you as far as your views and your beliefs, and how it gets you to buy things impulsively. So I see, again, good and bad.
You know, I've caught myself being like, oh my god, like I'll look at girls and I'm like, oh, I should stop looking at this, because if it's not making you feel good, why are you looking, right? But then also in the same turn, I'm such a horn dog that I love looking at hot girls, and I love looking at hot, like, I love
yourself.
It. Like,
you inherently compare yourself.
Sometimes it's like I get in like weird moods. I guess it fluctuates with me, like, in a good way, because I'm not always in like that narrow negative mindset. But there are a lot of times that, like, I'll go on social media and I see certain girls, especially in our industry, and I just think that they're so hot. Like, I don't know, I think people who like command their like sexuality and they know themselves and stuff, you know.
Sometimes
I love it. Like,
I love that, but I feel like sometimes I agree. I totally agree. The confidence factor.
It does set an unrealistic
But you
standard.
know that sometimes, because some people tell me, oh man, I love how sexy you are, and in a lot of my pictures I do all these like sensually sexual, I do bitch faces a lot. And and the reason why is because honestly I'm goofy as hell.
And you have to be serious to shoot. I feel you.
Shoot. And beyond that, sometimes I'm faking that confidence. I'll be honest. Sometimes I'm wobbly. You know this to be true. Do I like heels?
It's honestly, I think it's a thick thing. Because what's the balance? Where am I supposed to throw it?
Right. Well, yes, especially because I grew up at a time when like Paris Hilton was hot, so like my look was not.
You never wore heels? I never wore heels.
I never wore heels. That's
I could never. Yeah.
So when I'm walking around, you see me like modeling in heels. Half the time, I'm trying to just be able to stand up straight, hold the pose, not fall over, and then the other half of the time, it's like I'm trying to fake that confidence, so I exude this like thing, and I think a lot of people do that for social media. They fake it, and to a degree it really works, because you fake that confidence so much that you learn to, hey, and when I turn and I see that picture and I'm like, damn it, I actually look kind of cute. Wait, who's that girl? That's me.
Have you ever met anyone from social media though that you maybe had like a conception about, and not the most positive way, that when you met them it was almost like refreshing to find out that they weren't like completely vapid? Or
I wouldn't say vapid or negative. I'd say I've met people that I thought were much more serious and much more maybe hot-tempered, or maybe I thought they were more tough or stoic. Yeah. And then when I meet them, I see a funnier, lighter side to
softer,
them. Yeah, I'd say Pressure definitely was one of them.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Well, because when I sit down and talk to him, he's very well read, and we talk about books we've read.
And he's the nicest, like the most relatable humble guy ever. Yeah,
and he's so accommodating. Like if I needed water over there and I was gonna get up and get it,
he would do it. He'd be like, no, I'm closer. It's okay. I'm closer. He wants to.
I got you.
Absolutely, that's funny. That's actually very cool. I find it interesting that a lot of the people I get up. No, you're okay.
Microphoning.
It's okay. I like talking to you. I find it interesting that a lot of the you and I, we kind of had a click from the moment we met. Like we just kind of like vibed. So I really like the fact that a lot of the people that like you like, and that I'm like, oh, like I like them too. Yeah. Like, oh, you're my kind of people. You're perfect. Do you have any new projects with anyone that you're like dying to shoot, or that you have planned to shoot, or that you yourself are shooting? Because I do know you do your own content. Remember, she said her and Charlie Hart, it was a lesbian type title. Say it again. It was crafty. It was the Valentine one.
I have a full orgy. We have multiple girls in that one.
Oh,
yeah, it's
that's even better.
And I'll tell you the truth about it.
Sex.
It started off as a photo shoot that we all had decorations for Valentine's Day, and we were all wearing red, and we coordinated.
Yeah.
We're all in the same house and everything. Me, Bailey Bass, Emerald, Maya, Fiona Frost, Charlie Hart. And we all coordinated and started off as a photo shoot, and then, you know, suddenly there was a strap on inside of all of us, and so that's how it started, and I call it my...
That's what it's like living in a porn house.
Yeah,
it's like a naughty
much.
Sorority.
Exactly. But we're all like, we're not bitchy.
No, it's not bitchy, but that's the
we
good
really
thing
just
about
want to see each other prosper.
Exactly.
We're teaching each other how to be better businesswomen and better, you know, individuals, better, stronger. So, I call it My Slutty Galentine. It's dropping tonight just because this morning I was like, let's just do it. Let's drop it.
Along with many others, will be purchasing it. Thank you.
I'm so
serious. I'm gonna buy it. I'm so serious.
Okay, but I'm gonna send you the link, and if you want to buy it, you buy it. But I'm gonna send you the link, so you're good.
I'll buy it and I'll get the link. I will support you and watch it for free.
Thank you.
And that's what love is, guys.
Yes,
I don't care how close you are for someone, right? Support your fucking friends.
Yep, support them. Retweet their stuff, so buy their content.
Yes.
Like, even if you're not gonna watch it out of respect for them or for whatever because you feel weird, just buy it so that you support them. I don't really, you know.
It's true. One of my friends, she's actually an elementary school teacher. She's been my best friend since like 3rd grade. And she buys everything. I'm not kidding.
Light one of these, so
you can light whatever you want. This is
someone keeps going out, so I'm like, all right.
This is called Adriana and Carmela. This is about us. It's about no one else but us.
I'm sorry. Oh, your friend, the elementary school teacher.
Yeah. So she's an elementary school teacher, and I'm not kidding. She literally buys everything of mine. She has a under her bed tote with all the DVDs I've ever been on, all the magazines, porno and not that I've been on, like everything. She has it, but she's an elementary school teacher.
I have a day one like that.
So that's real.
That's so important to have like a good foundation, no matter what industry you're in.
Absolutely.
Especially as a business owner.
Yeah, exactly.
You need
to have a good foundation. It just gives you a little boost, especially even if you do tell them up front, which some people do, you know, but sometimes you get lucky and they don't really tell you, you know, you just kind of stumble upon it or you find out one day, and it really gives you such a good boost. Like, you're like I knew you loved me, but oh, you really loved me.
I had a friend drive across the country to meet me at AVN's because she was trying to prove to me that she like cared. Yeah. We had a falling out when I had started doing porn and all that.
And that is a hard falling out.
Yeah, you know,
because the separation, it makes you get in your head too.
You guys both say things when you're heated to other people. It gets back. You get we'll tell her I said this, and you know, finally. She had been trying to reach out to me for so long, and I was like not hearing it, that she was planning on doing a road trip in that area. She was going to the Grand Canyon, and she's like, well, I'm going to be at the Grand Canyon, and I heard about this giant porn convention. I know she's going to be there. There's no way that Carmela's going to not be there. So she blew up my phone so many times that I was just like, what do you want? She's like, I'm in town, please see me. I'm standing outside the Hard Rock.
I would genuinely
I'm standing outside the Hard Rock. I'm as far as they'll let me. They won't let me past this point. Please come down and see me. If you have the time, I'll be here all day. I took the day. I'm staying here the whole day the night, you know? And I was like, shit, bro.
Like, alright.
Okay. I went to go see her. And bro, we had it out, and I was just like, she just thought that, you know, I was in a bad place, and she didn't realize that I'm doing this because I actually love what I do, and I want to do it.
But it takes that conversation, and unfortunately, sometimes because of things that are said, we don't give them the chance, and then also because of, you know, just the preconceived notions about our industry, they don't give us a chance.
Right.
So by the time maybe they switch their feelings, we're actually like,
we've already moved on with our lives. Right?
I don't care. It's my career.
Well, I took her to make my point. I took her upstairs to the room. It was a suite that I was staying in.
Oh, okay, I got you.
With
so
another
she could
girl.
kind of get a feel.
She saw the makeup chair with the makeup artist. She saw the ring lights. She saw the outfits set up. She saw like how serious I had been. She'd seen, and here was the kicker. When we came down, and we walked over to the photo wall, and people were like, Carmela, pictures, and then she saw me go from the girl she once knew that was shy nerdy to boom, 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 fucking crawling on shit, and you know, letting this other side of me out.
Your alter ego.
She realized, she's like, wow, I am so sorry that I tried to even stifle that voice.
Exactly.
And you know, anything you need.
Sometimes, unfortunately, that's what it takes.
I post anything. She's the first to like it. She's the first to buy it.
Oh, that's beautiful that you guys got to come to that point. But that is truly a testament to most of the time in the industry.
She's gonna be watching this. You know who you are. I fucking love you, bitch.
And I love you because she loves you.
Yeah.
But also, like, it really is a testament, though, to our industry that some people have, you know, they have preconceived notions, but in the end, as long as you can kind of talk to them about it and, you know, let them see it. It's just, unfortunately, people see porn as, oh, you go to set and you're fucking someone and they don't know about testing and like we're on set with whole crews, like,
and they think that they think it's real when, you know, they see us, you know, be slapped or choked or they see us, you know, whatever. The only thing that's real is usually my orgasms.
I will say, one of my good friends, he called me and he said, hey, every time I go to jack off, I just want to let you know, I keep seeing this video pop up. And it's you tied to a tree. And he's like, and dude, like, he's like,
I've seen that video.
He's like, it kind of like fucked me up. Like, he's like, because you look distressed. He's like, but then he started fucking you. And you were like, oh no, stop. And he's like, and you look like a monster. He's like, you look like you were like possessed. And I was like, yeah, it's just really bad acting. He's like, no, I know that now. You know? But unfortunately, it takes them.
Well, I also think a lot of people have a bunch of misconceived notions of what porn is based on the past.
Oh, absolutely.
The 70s, the 80s, the 90s, the early 2000s. It's not like that at all. It's
not a party. We're not doing drugs on set. No, it's not allowed. You can't.
It's all consensual.
It's very like, frowned upon.
They're very like, even the PAs are like, I'm going to adjust your collar right here.
Here's
for
written
a second.
consent do you have your permission? Yeah, you can do this.
Yeah,
there's genuinely sometimes if we have oil scenes, you can attest to this. They'll have one person and they'll try to designate that, and because we're girls, they'll usually always try to have it be a girl, and if it's a guy, they will try to make it the one, like whoever the girl wants, one is an option, and then two, the least, obviously, you know, they're trying to just be like
least threatening,
right? The quiet guy who doesn't say much because they're trying to be so good to us.
And there's even those representatives on some sets too. I
exactly,
think
they have
like have a person who's kind of the what is it?
Like a liaison.
Really, liaison.
For us, though.
For us, they just literally anything you need. Water, you know. I'm uncomfortable with this position, or I don't feel comfortable doing that.
And you don't have to say it in front of anyone. That you're discreet, confidant.
Yeah, someone that you just kind of whisper to, and they just make sure that it's taken care of for you. But I mean, I've never had to use one of those. I've never had an instance like that because people are so respectful that it's almost. It's not needed.
Luckily,
it's not needed.
Things have, like you said, things have really changed for us. When I first started, genuinely, I maybe had like 4 or 5 instances where, not even that the guy really did anything that I was like, oh, I'm not going to do this scene. But I was like, hey, could you kind of like check this about him or like handle this or whatever, you know? Just because I don't want to turn off the guy's confidence. So, as long as it's not coming from me, you know, and from my perspective, then usually they'll be okay about it. But,
like, for example, I can give an example where I've never used it because I've luckily never worked with anyone who had this. Yeah. But I've heard instances where, you know, the guy maybe had a little bit of BO.
Oh, yeah, and they make them shower.
So they ask them, hey, can you discreetly ask that the director ask that the co-star to please rinse off maybe, like, foreskin or whatever the case be. You know, like rinse off or take a mint before, you know,
like something and just handle it. Like,
so that way, because if we say it, it might knock their confidence.
Exactly,
and then it's hard for them to pop, or they feel uncomfortable, or they don't want to work with us. This way, it's just kind of like, hey dude, you want a Tic Tac? Cool.
Right? You want some gum? You want a shower? It's hot.
Here's some wipes.
That's so
Wipes.
I'm super
Same thing with
nice
girls,
about
douche.
it. Oh,
Douche.
genuinely, I'll be
Douche.
like, oh, I'm gonna go shower before the scene. Do you want a shower? And then I'll like get in, and I'll just be like, hold on, like I have to shave, and I'm like, obviously, I shaved the night before or whatever. Like that's my favorite thing ever, and I feel like almost like a sneaky, sexy spy.
And some people even
It's
are
like 007.
I've heard of some girls being like, they want to shower with the talent because they want to make sure that the talent, because they've had some horror stories.
It is smart, but some of the guys, unfortunately, they also take that as like, oh, like,
Well,
she
I
wants
mean-
to be my lady, like, and you have to break it down. Like, this is work.
I'm sorry. Like, I'm maybe I'm just not in that phase of my life of getting bait up, or if I am, if I don't see a guy banging me up or cuffing me, I'm not in that phase of my life right now.
It's
not even a
good
phase.
to be
I'm just
free.
Yeah, exactly. Or you know what? Cuffing is a bad term. I genuinely think that I've become polyamorous. So that if I did it, it would have to be open.
Amen.
You just have to be responsible about it.
Yeah,
'Cause I
exactly. Be
just- 'cause
responsible.
I'm
I genuinely
respectful.
don't. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, just go do your thing.
That is. I knew we were one and the same. Where we were just so. I can't because I have a.
Wait, we can do it this way.
Margaret, thank you.
Okay, we can do that. Yeah, we can do that.
Because we're girls. Oh wait, hold on. Boom.
Hey.
That's what
like
I do. That's what I do. I'm gonna handshake and be like,
Yo, what's up?
This was nice.
But I think in the anime things they do this.
Oh yeah, and we can turn as a thick wholeness. We can. Oh no, we're high. And that's how you know Spliffs and Giggles is on the right track. I want to give a huge thank you to Carmel Clutch for coming through on my episode 1 of Spliffs and Giggles. You were genuinely such a gem.
Thank you,
I'm
babe.
so thankful you were number 1. This was amazing.
Thank you so much
Do
for
you
having
have
me.
any products, any social medias we can follow, anything to look out for besides that video that's coming out that she mentioned previously?
Ooh, I also have a couple scenes with J-Mac that are coming out. That
I'll
are
be
my
getting
content.
those. Hello.
Those are some
Oh, right.
I have a nasty sloppy toppy in his backyard that was so fucking good. So good that apparently it made its word around to some of the directors. They've already, hey, we want to book you for that. I'm like, oh, okay, cool, thanks. And then I have another boy-girl scene with him coming out, so I have 2 of those coming out soon. So look out for those. And then I have scenes with Team Ski, Mofos, and Big Rose all coming out, so please be on the lookout.
Keep a fucking eye out, guys.
My socials are at Carmela CARME1LA _clutch CLUTCH like the car.
And we're gonna add the tags for you just to make it a little bit easier. And
Thank
it says
you.
we love you.
Thank you. And there's a lot of phonies. I don't know why.
I honestly, she's so gorgeous. Can you blame them?
I love you.
Everyone wants a taste. I had one, so.
Tough.
We also want to give a huge thank you to Medibles for coming through with these delicious snacks.
Ooh,
You're going to be able to take some of these home. And
Thank you,
also,
Medibles.
because she was our guest number 1, you know we had to come through with some special vegan snacks from her. Shout out to Exotic Society. Mwah, you're the absolute best.
Thank you,
And
guys.
last but not least, Cali Kid Organic. You came through with the blunts and the joints for us because I had to give you the best, so I went and got
you.
Cali Kid Organic, and obviously we're high.
Oh God, you see my face? I can barely open my eyes right now, I'm sure.
So a huge thank you to you guys for letting me pick that up last minute. You're the absolute best. Red Eye District, thank you for putting this together. I'm Adriana Maya. Thank you for joining us.
Bye guys.